That Mels Yh, say nothing.
You like to save your money. Why is that?
See all these like new traders and everything, you can kind of tell like who's had money before and who hasn't.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people, when they come into trading, they make money. You can tell that they've never experienced money like that before, so they just go wild and they don't know how to, like, what to do with it, sort of thing. In terms of actually trading it, Forex is more fun because I know what I'm doing. I'm making money, and when I'm making money, it's more fun. I think it's the same sort of concept as that. Trading is more seen as a male industry. Doesn't mean it has to be. I'd like to see more females doing it. And if you're not comfortable with the idea of losing £100 or £200, then you shouldn't be so comfortable with the idea of making 1,000. I said this year I need to take it seriously, so it's only this year that I've started really pushing it. My beats have been on BBC before, but I just haven't really promoted it too much, I'll be honest. But this year, yeah, you're definitely gonna see my name, 100%. Let's hope so.
What's the fuel economy saying on this?
It's ridiculous. Like, it's stupidness. It's like the same as a Golf R or something.
Yeah. What do you say, like every few days?
Is 15 mpg.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
That's what I'm saying. It's wild.
Yeah.
So every like couple of days, I'm at the petrol station. It's petrol, yeah.
Oh wow.
The consumption's not a joke. There's no eco mode.
There's no eco mode.
No eco mode. Straight like comfort or sport. That's it.
Right. Nah, that's something about me. That's
it's killing me. It's killing me. I'm so used to like having it always in eco mode because all my Mercs had eco mode, so I was just eco. But this, just gotta firm it.
Yeah. Well. So what? You was mentioning earlier how even though the average trader likes to, like, you know, show off, buy all these little things and luxuries, you like to save your money. Why is that? Like, where does that come from, man?
Do you know what it is? It's because see all these like new traders and everything, you can kind of tell like who's had money before and who hasn't. Okay. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people, when they come into trading, they make money. You can tell that they've never experienced money like that before, so they just go wild and they don't know how to, like, what to do with it, sort of thing. Whereas I've experienced, I've gone through it. Like I've done the luxury spending and buying designer and, you know, watches and whatever, and it gets boring. Like at this age, I've already had 8 cars. Like, what now? You know what I mean? What can I do possibly now? Like, people are, you know, at my age, a lot of people would look at an E-Class and be like, oh, you know, dream car, like I'd love to drive that, or like a Velar, but like I've been there, done it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what is it now that I can do with it? It's just the same thing over and over. I guess it's very repetitive.
And I want to also ask, what's your first car? Because I think they need to see the progress.
Oh, yeah.
Like.
So my first car was a Ford Fiesta. It was like a 02 plate or something. It was really old. It was like a proper banger.
Yeah,
and that was like my first car. I think I drove that for like, I don't know, 6 months, if that.
And what, I'm guessing around this time you started trading? You got into trading, or was he still working?
I was in uni.
Oh, what do you mean?
No, I was in college, so I was in sixth form at that time, so I just passed my test when I was, I think, 18.
Okay.
And I drove that car like whilst I was learning.
Were you thinking about FS, like learning?
I kind of heard of it, but I wasn't in it.
Okay.
Like
cool.
That's when it kind of all started to come about, the whole Forex scene. When I was about 17. That's how long ago now? Like 5 years ago.
5 years.
Yeah.
And I think you touched on something earlier. You said trading is boring. Can you elaborate on why that is and how it should be?
We don't really do much. That's the truth. Like, I think people really they make it seem like something it's not, you know, with the 10 screens and they're always at home checking the chart, and it's not really like that. That's the truth. For me personally, I don't know, it may be how other people trade, but for me personally, I put my trade on and I leave it. So there's not much else I have to do. Like, I can check it here and there. How long does that take? 10 seconds? For like maximum a minute? What am I doing for the rest of the day? Do you know what I mean? So that's why you have to have other things that keep you busy. That's why I had time to look into crypto and, you know, become an expert on that, because I had so much time with Forex to like expand and think about other things. And I think that's one of the best things that you can do with trading is having that other time to do other things rather than your whole life just being the screen and the charts. It does get boring. It's once you place it, there's nothing much else to do.
You're a swing trader, so it's not that you're on the charts 24. So you've set your analysis and you just wait for alerts to be hit.
Exactly.
And prices.
That's it. Once you enter the trade, you just leave it. You leave it. That's when, when you check it. Let's say, for example, it's in profit by a certain amount. You can move your stop loss to break even. Then you're risk free. Then what? That takes a minute.
Yeah.
Hitting stop loss. It's going to happen. Whether it's your trade is good or it's going to happen. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. I think checking the charts all the time, it can get a bit toxic because you're always just trying to find something that's not there. You overthink it too much, basically. You put too much effort into it, where trading shouldn't be like that. And I think people forget that the whole idea of being able to trade is to have freedom and to have the time to do what you want, as opposed to just being on the charts 24/7. You might as well just get a job. Do you know what I mean? So I think people need to relax with the whole being on the screen 24/7 and just chill out a bit and actually just realize that you can make money by doing nothing. Well, not doing nothing, but just not having to constantly check the charts and feel like you're doing something. It's better to be productive than to just look busy and try and get something off the chart that's not really there. But yeah.
That's good.
Then I got the Polo afterwards. I've still got that, but my sister drives it.
Okay, nice.
And that time, it was when I got into uni, that's when I kind of started discovering Forex more. Joined a couple of different, teams or whatever.
Do you believe for someone that's getting started, do you believe they need? I personally believe you need a course to succeed in Forex and whatnot. But do you think someone can, go on the YouTube and find out for free, or do you think it makes more sense to get a course? And what did you do to get where you are?
I mean, personally, I used courses and I had actual mentors. So I paid the extra bit to have a one-to-one mentorship to actually learn. But honestly, I think you need it, not because you can't do it on YouTube. You can, but it will take you years to gather the information, put it in the right order, know what you're doing fully. YouTube is scattered. You can type in Forex course on YouTube and something will come up, but how do you know that that's right or that's the right thing to do, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're buying a course, everything's structured, it's there for you. You can get through that in a couple of months, as opposed to just searching, struggling just because you don't want to spend that extra money. And really and truly, if you don't want to invest in a course, if you're being tight about it, you shouldn't really be getting into trading anyway. Because I feel like a lot of people think trading is just you can have no money and just get into it and flip it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. You need to see it as an investment. So if you're not willing to invest in the education in the first place and you're being a bit tight with your money, you shouldn't really be getting into any sort of trading, not just Forex, crypto as well.
Yeah.
If you've all you got is £100, really and truly, it's not worth it. That's the truth. It's not gonna be life-changing or anything significant to be bothering putting the £100 in. So
what initially got you into it? What made you think, this is the one?
I started seeing it in college. I saw people doing demo accounts and things like that, and I was half interested, but I kind of wasn't. And then when I got into uni, it became a huge thing on Instagram. Everyone was doing Forex, everyone was trading. At the time it was very much lifestyle based, and especially because I was a lot younger, it was easier to get sucked into it. So I started joining different courses, and they had signals and that sort of thing. And every time I was just losing money. And then it came to a point where I was like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to try and do it on my own. And then I joined a really big company when I already kind of knew how to trade. And honestly, I didn't really do much there. I kind of just it was more marketing as opposed to actually trading. And then it came to a point where I was like, you know what, I don't want to be doing this. I'm not a marketer. This isn't kind of what I wanted to do. So I cut that off, started doing trading on my own. And then I thought, you know what, I want to kind of create a platform where if I was 5 years younger, something that I wish I had in the beginning, so I could have saved all that lost money from all them courses and signals and everything that I lost out on. I wanted to create something.
What type of trader would you say you are then?
I'll say I'm a swing trader. I used to be a day trader, but then within the last couple of years, the market's kind of changed the way it's moved. And I think a lot of people don't kind of see that you got to adapt with the market. So I've kind of switched my style of trading to more of a swing trading, whereas I just leave the trade, I kind of let it play out, and I'll check it a couple of times, maybe throughout the day or throughout the week, and just see kind of what it does. As opposed to just being on the charts 24/7 and just stressing myself out for no reason. I just kind of leave it and let it run its course, and you know, if it loses, it loses, and that's fine. But most of the time we're winning, you know.
Most def.
Yeah.
One thing I like to say is, you know, Forex is like a 6 trillion daily volume traded market. So it's like, if you think you can try conquer that of £100, you got another thing coming.
You know what it is? You can, but it's about, like, in the beginning, you're not gonna just put in the £100 and that first £100 is gonna flip. It takes years to be able to master, like, the art of flipping accounts. Like, you have to be so, like, know what you're doing in trading. And I feel like there's not a lot of people that can, you know, have £100 and be able to flip it. Like right now I'm flipping a £12 account. Just not because I don't have the money to actually get it, I've got my other accounts, but just to show you can. But it takes time. Like, I've been trading for 6 years now, and only in the last 2 years have I been able to then be like, yeah, I can flip £100 to, you know, 10 grand or whatever. And a lot of people can't do that, especially a lot of these big traders that, you know, say about trading and making so much money. Because if you've got 100 grand and you put a 1 lot on and you make, or 10 lots and it moves up 1 pip, do you know what I mean? You've made, what?
Quite a bit.
A lot, you know, you've made like a grand or 10 grand in like 3 seconds just out of luck. It doesn't, it's not a skill. Whereas if you're able to have a small amount and be able to flip it to big accounts, it's actually a skill that you've got, which a lot of people don't have in the trading industry, and a lot of people, they can't show it, or they can't, you know, show that they know how to do it.
This place is nice. What everyone wants to know is, what got you into making beats, and why did you want to switch to something so different to crypto and whatnot?
Honestly, I had a lot of free time. I've been playing piano since I was like 5 years old anyway, so I always wanted to do something to do with music. I can't sing, I can't rap, so I thought, what else can I do? And since I was younger, I've always listened to like drill beats and stuff anyway. And in the industry, there's not many female producers like at all. I think there's like 1 or 2. So I kind of saw it as an opportunity to kind of take that space, and it's a niche in itself. So I kind of wanted to get into it through that. Like I said, I had a lot of free time anyway, so I spent most of it just learning how to do it. I got a lot of help from a lot of different people, and then now it's kind of, I'm at a stage where I know what I'm doing. It's just kind of about taking it that step further and capitalizing on it really, and getting my name out there and actually starting to do it properly, because I have the time, I have the experience, I know what I'm doing. It's just now about, you know, getting out there properly and getting my beats out there and getting them heard, basically.
Would you say, so in terms of flipping accounts or not, for you personally, do you prefer, are you like more of a 1% person where I risk 1%, make my 3%, or are you more of, like you say, the flipping, so let me delegate 1k to this account, let me see what I can do and make my profits for a month, or you have a big account size and just make your 1%, 2%?
So I've got one big account which I do the whole 2 to 3% max risk on it, and I just kind of leave that there and I won't touch it. But with the flipping account, which is like the £100 or the £12 or whatever, that one I'll obviously risk. I don't care.
It's more of a fun. It's more of a fun.
Because my other one is so boring. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Like, they think trading is so fun and you've got to be on the screen. Like, it's boring. You just sit there and just leave it. What now for the rest of the day? Do you know what I mean? So that little account gives me something to, like, you know, check up on, or just if I need the money to spend it on, for example, the car, just have a bit of fun, like just take it out of there or whatever. It's just here nor there. It's kind of, I don't really care about it too much. It's more just like, I more do it not for the money, but to show people that it's possible. You can do it. You don't need a lot of money, but it just takes time. And a lot of people don't ever talk about that it takes years to build up the skill. A lot of people don't want to wait that long. They just want like the quick money and the quick about the learning.
Yeah, it's mad. They'll go to uni for 3 years, but they won't.
But they won't even think about trading for 6 months. It's wild.
It's mad.
It's wild.
Is that Mels Yh? Say nothing.
Of being willing to take losses
to
get to where you need to
100%. So as a trader, you need to, if you're someone who wants to get into trading, or not just trading but any kind of investment, you need to be willing to take risks and lose your money. And that's with any sort of investment, not just trading but like anything. If you're not willing to lose any money, you shouldn't be investing that money. That's the truth. Like, a lot of people will put rent and things like that, like rent money, and they will try and put it into trading and flip it. Don't do it. If you don't have extra money on the side, you shouldn't be going anywhere near any type of investing or putting your money into anything. You should be saving up to then have money on the side to then put in. And if you're not comfortable with the idea of losing £100 or £200, then you shouldn't be so comfortable with the idea of making 1,000 or making 2,000, for example. If you're not willing to lose 100 to make 1,000, then you shouldn't really be in trading anyway. That's the truth.
Nice.
Cool. So obviously you was doing FX before, and then you switched to crypto. What's the reasoning for that, and what's the pros and cons of both FX and crypto for you?
So I still do FX, but I made the transition over from crypto, like from Forex Genie to Crypto Genie, just because there was a lot more hype around it, a lot more people wanted to get into crypto, and obviously I was already in crypto anyway, so just to kind of make that more aware, that's kind of why I changed the name over from Forex to crypto. But I still do both. I still mainly do Forex as opposed to crypto. Crypto is more like long-term investing, and then the Forex stuff is just kind of what I do day to day. Do you know what I mean? In terms of actually trading it, Forex is more fun because I know what I'm doing. I'm making money, and when I'm making money, it's more fun as opposed to like trying to force money out of a market that you don't really know what it's doing. And that's the truth. No one really knows what crypto is doing because it's so new, it's so fresh. Like, you can look at the history, but the history is so small. Like, compared to Forex, when it's been around since like the 1980s or 90s, there's so much more information and data that you can go off of, as opposed to crypto. You can't do that. You can't go back and look at the history and try and work out patterns. It's not there. So no one really knows what it's doing. That's the truth. Yeah. People should see like a realistic aspect of how a trader's day-to-day life, rather than fucking Lambos and all over the place, and it's not realistic. So I think it's good to give like a real perspective.
What's the latest trades you've been looking at, or what markets you've been looking at?
So I only trade like commodities and basically two like currency pairs. So the only currencies I actually trade are GJ, which is GBP JPY, and USD CAD. But even USD CAD, I don't really trade it too much unless it's like a really obvious, like it's got loads of confirmations trade. I won't trade it because it is so volatile. Like USD CAD and Euro USD, they're so all over the place. So the best one in terms of actual currencies I trade is GJ. But in terms of commodities, I've got US 30, US oil, and gold. I used to trade silver. I don't really trade it too much anymore. It's basically like a BTEC gold. So it's not really worth like placing trades on it if I'm trading gold anyway. But yeah, even gold is all over the place right now. It's just a mess. So at the moment, for the last month or so, I've been trading more oil. So you can see here, this is one trade I took, when was this? The 22nd of December I had this in. So in my group chats and everything, everyone would have got access to this trade. And then as you can see, like if you was to count the candlesticks, it took a good, I think that's about 2 weeks to hit take profit. That's TP1, and then TP2 was around here, or 88, you can see it's got it there. So TP2 is up here, which is literally hit on the 19th of January. So that's like a month long trade. But you know, I feel like a lot of people they look at that and they think, oh, that's too long. But for me, I'd rather just place it, get on with my day, and then, you know, after a month, that profit it's there. And obviously throughout here, you're going to be, you know, taking profits in between. Like TP1, you would have taken half out anyway, and then you would have moved your stop loss to break even as well. So you would have been risk free for basically most of this trade. As you can see now, if I get rid of that, you can see I've got another take profit here. So you've got TP3, which we're in profit, not by much, but literally by the tiniest bit right here. This will probably take a good month or so, I reckon. That says about 38 days, and I think that's being a bit generous. So it'll probably take about two-ish months, 1.5 months to get to there, but just gonna wait and see.
So would you say, since your style of trading is like, you might have like one trade every few weeks type of thing, you might risk a little bit more of the account to make it worthwhile?
Yeah, I mean, it depends what account. If I'm doing a flip account, then yeah, I'll go all in on it. But if I'm doing on my actual stable, like risk maximum 3% account, then I will literally just risk only 3% maximum. But right now we're doing that £12 challenge, so we're going all in. So before I done on YouTube, I had the £100 to 10k challenge. Right now I'm doing a £12 to 10k challenge. So we're gonna have to wait and see. That's gonna be on my YouTube channel when that hits 10k, which it will, soon.
Can you even start with £12?
Yeah. You can, yeah. You can start with £12. You can put like stupid amounts, like small amounts, and you can trade it. But the worst bit, the longest bit about it is that beginning bit when you're building that £12 to, like, let's say about £1,000. That's going to be the hardest bit. After that, when you're at £1,000, it's going to fly, because you can use obviously more leverage, bigger lot sizes, whatever. But that money, if I lose it, I lose it, sort of thing. I'm not fussed about it. But again, that just comes with mindset, and over 6 years of trading, it's taken me to get that mindset of I don't care. So yeah, the account flipping is not for the light-hearted, faint-hearted. It takes time to learn how to do it.
No words. So obviously you run Crypto Genie now. You have a lot of students. What is the biggest or most common mistake that you see among your students?
I think especially as new students, a lot of people get carried away by two things mainly. It's mainly FOMO and it's mainly greed. So people will over leverage their account. They will, it's normal as a new student to do this, because you get so excited by, you know, trading and just the whole idea of always placing trades and things. You start over trading. You start moving your risk up to things it shouldn't be. And that's completely normal. Like, as a new trader, you're gonna, you know, want to slap one lot on £100 account and just see what happens with it, and, you know, try and flip the account. But most of the time it doesn't work out. But it's just something that you have to go through, and it's experience. And I feel like if you don't go through that whole stage of, you know, blowing accounts and losing money on trades you know you shouldn't have took, you're never going to learn how to actually trade properly. You're never going to be like, you know what, this happened before. I've already been through this. I don't want to go through this again. Let me actually use my risk properly. And it's just the same pattern over and over again. It's literally just FOMO, fear of missing out, and risk management. And they just do it. You have to do it over and over again until you actually mentally train yourself to stop and just to use your risk management and go through your trading plan properly.
Okay. And for those that want to, like, you know, learn to trade like you and take the whole swing trading approach, where can they learn to do that? Where can they go to? Without
being biased, or
no, look at the thing.
Crypto Genie. No, but all seriousness, Forex Genie has a lot of information, and I've made sure that it has all the relevant information. A lot of these courses is very much just waffle, and you'll see that I don't talk about other courses. I have no interest in, you know, putting other people down or whatever, but I know my course is valuable. I've been saying this for years now, that I know my course has its worth, especially for the price it's at. I know that there's thousands of hours of information, hundreds of thousands of hours of information of just pure knowledge rather than just waffle, and it's stuff you actually need to know. And I've kind of cut all the stuff that you don't need to know out, and I've just made it very much strict on these are the only things you need to know. Focus on that, and that's how you're going to actually learn to trade. And that's kind of what I pride myself on with Genie, and that kind of separates us from all the waffle from the rest. But yeah, that's what I would advise. Go to Crypto Genie or Forex Genie. Invest in a course that's just going to make your life so much easier, and actually just take it forward. You know, a lot of people also buy the course and they don't do anything with it. Make sure that you're actually persistent with it and you go through with it, and you know, you're prioritizing it and making sure that you're doing it properly. That's what I would say.
Yeah, smooth. Yeah, there are some other asset classes, so like, you know, property, watches and whatnot. What do you think about those, and where does Mel see herself in the future doubling?
In terms of investment, the only thing that I'm really interested in, I would say, is probably watches. In terms of property, I'm not too interested in it. The whole idea of mortgages, not a fan of it at all. Like, I don't understand it. I just feel like, why would you put yourself in debt for 30 years for one like I've seen people around me, like, just there's so many people that have invested in properties. You know, it is a big thing, it's a big achievement, but at the same time, you're putting yourself in debt for, you know, a house for what, like, the profit margin doesn't really make sense to me. Like, there's a lot of people that will, you know, be happy with making £200 profit a month on a house, but to me, it's it doesn't, like, it's, to me personally, it doesn't make sense. Like, that £200 a month, it might help someone out, but for me, it's not me worth me putting my time or my money into it, you know, as an investment, and only making back £200 a month personally. But watches, I like the idea of watches because I actually like watches. That's why I don't invest in anything that I don't like. That's my motto. Like, anything, NFTs, you know, trading, currencies, anything. If I don't actually like it, or if I don't enjoy it, if I don't find it interesting, I won't invest into it. So it's the same goes for, like, houses, for example. It doesn't interest me. You know, a lot of people are excited, you know, house flipping and renovating, and I understand it, but it just doesn't interest me. But with watches, it's something, you know, I'm interested in. I like looking at watches. I like to see the appreciation, and, you know, watches are pretty, they're luxury. So yeah, I think watches definitely something I'd invest in.
No, I like it because I can just tell that you just do you. You don't follow the crowd. Basically. You don't chase the latest thing. Oh, everyone's in NFTs now, let me go put all my money into NFTs. You just do, like, you like beats, you jump onto beats. Like, I'll be real, 100%. I've never met any female producer, but no, it's good that you're just doing your thing.
First one of a kind.
So you also mentioned like getting help from others. Could you talk about, like, the power of networking within the industry?
Networking is basically everything, because you can be, like, the hardest at producing or rapping or just anything really. You can be the best in your field, but if you don't have the network to actually take it any further, you're not going to get anywhere with it. In my instance, I was lucky enough to have two main people. I had Sykes, who helped me a lot with in terms of, like, getting out there and getting into studio sessions and stuff. And then I had another guy called Ads Beats, and he helped me with actually learning how to create the beat. And a lot of it is not just networking, but it's actually, you have to be good. Like, you can have it's the same thing, it's vice versa. Like, you can have the biggest network, but if you're shit, it's not really going to go anywhere. But network is so important, and really and truly with any industry that you're in, if you don't have the right network around you, don't have the right people, not just in terms of, like, getting your stuff out there, but in terms of, like, mindset. If you've got the wrong people around you, you're not really going to get anywhere with it. You can be, like, the hardest rapper, and if you've got shit people around you that are not pushing you, or just your circle in general is not pushing you, you're probably going to get lazy. So you just need to have the right people around you. And honestly, I think people are scared to network. They're kind of scared to, you know, push their name out there or ask people for help a lot of the time, or just in general, not even just for help, but asking them to, you know, get put on and stuff like that. I feel like a lot of people shy away from it, but a lot of the industry is actually just asking people for help a lot of the time, and just trying to get your stuff out there as much as possible without having such an ego about it. So yeah.
Would you say, so then this comes on your hobby as well?
Yeah.
So it's something that fulfills you and keeps you going?
It's just something different. Like, with Forex and crypto, it's not very creative. Yeah. But with this, you have to be creative. You have to, you know, actually be able to put sounds together to make something that works. And with Forex and crypto, it's very, like, maths. Not even maths, but just, it's just a chart. There's only so much you can do with it creatively. Yeah. So
who said that?
My cousin, I got my cousin to send me a voice note basically just saying Mels Yh, but he added the little say nothing. I was like, yeah, it's cold, and then we pitched it up. And now it's at the beginning of every beat. That's what people are gonna hear. Yeah, they're gonna know it's you on the beat. So it's important to get it right, I can't lie. So right now you can see nothing's mixed. It's just all...
What does it mean to mix for those that don't know though?
It's like just making sure all the sounds are like balanced out. So like you don't want to have, for example, if I put the bass all the way up, like that, you see how you can hear it too much?
Yeah.
But if you put it down, it's just kind of in the background, because you've got to remember that a rapper has to then jump on the beat and start rapping as well. So if everything's too high, you're not going to be able to hear the rapper if the bass is too high and everything.
It's making sense.
Like there's certain things like the kicks, you always want the kicks to be like powerful.
For some people, they may feel like, rah, when you're making beats and that, it's like, it's easy to like, since listening to music on a daily basis, it's easy to just subconsciously make something that you heard. Yeah. How do you get around that? Like?
To be honest, you know what it is? You'd think that all the beats have already been made that could possibly be made, because there's only so many sounds, but there's so many sounds. Like you can make so many different types of beats. Like even with this, like for example, this bit here, just with this alone, I could make hundreds of beats. They're all going to be different. They're all going to have different additions, even though it's the same like key melody bit. There's so many things you can do with music, like so many things that you could do with just one sample. Like if you was to give like 10 producers one sample, they'd all come out with something completely different. And that's kind of the beauty of it. Yeah, like every producer has their own style. That's the thing. Like even if like your influence, like for example, I listen to a lot of Ghosty, so like my style might be influenced by him, but it doesn't mean that it's the exact same as him. There'll be certain things that he does that I like that I'll add in, but it won't be the exact same, because everyone like subconsciously has their own style anyway, that you kind of just, you learn once you just start making beats yourself. That's the truth. You kind of figure out what your style is and you stick to it, something that works. I don't really promote my beats too much. Like I've only just started doing it this year properly. I said this year I need to take it seriously, so it's only this year that I've started really pushing it. My beats have been on BBC before. I just haven't really promoted it too much, I'll be honest. But this year, yeah, you're definitely going to see my name, 100%. Let's hope so.
Yes.